It's just one call away, and you'll leave him, you're loyal to me. But this time I'll let you be, 'cause he seems like he's good for you, and he makes you feel like you should. And all your friends say he's the one, his love for you is true. But does he know you call me when he sleeps? Or does he know the pictures that you keep? Or does he know the reasons that you cry? Or tell me, does he know where your heart lies? Where it truly lies? Yeah, you should be with him. I let you go from time. You should stay with him, 'cause he seems like he's good for you, and he makes you feel like you should. And all your friends say he's the one, his love for you is true. But does he know you call me when he sleeps? Or does he know the pictures that you keep? Or does he know the reasons that you cry? Or tell me, does he know where your heart lies? Where it truly lies? Right here with me, babe, where it truly lies. My baby, where it truly lies. Oh, baby, where it truly lies. Where it truly lies.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome inside BC Place Stadium. It is time for Championship Saturday, live from under the dome. It's the 2021 BC School Sport Subway Bowl. And we are kicking off with our first of 4 championship games here on Saturday from BC Place Stadium. My name is Justin Morissette, joined on the call up in the broadcast booth by Tino Farah. And Tino, glad to have you with me here today.
Yeah, super excited for a Saturday full of football. Can't wait to get things rolling here.
You are keeping me company for the first 2 games this morning as we get both of the JV championship games, the regional championships, I should say, Tino, of course, because of the travel situation with all the flooding across this province. Teams from the interior not able to make it down this year to the Lower Mainland to attend these games live from BC Place, but they will play their own championship games in the interior today. We've got our regional championships in the Lower Mainland ahead of us, too. And game number 1 here today is the AA Junior Varsity Championship, as we are going to see the John Barsby Bulldogs
boys and girls,
go head-to-head with the Carson Graham Junior Varsity Eagles.
Regional Championship game.
And it's a big day for Carson Graham because this is their first of 2 championship games here today. Not just making it to the final in junior varsity, but in the AA senior varsity division as well. So they've got a healthy contingent of fans on hand here at BC Place, but I'm going to turn things over to our PA announcer here in the building as we get the big intros. Players running out through the inflated lion's head here at BC Place Stadium, and I'll let you listen in.
Lucky David. Number 52, Oscar Lopez. Defensive tackle number 71, Raymond Razaluza Dihayazidi. Starting linebacker number 50, Nate Wheeler. Starting at linebacker number 42, Griffin Reynolds. Also starting at linebacker number 37, Kai Nickel. Starting at linebacker number 11, Ethan Samuels. Starting at quarterback number 1, Seelan Vermeulen. Starting at safety number 15, Chase Baker. And starting at safety number 40, Griffin Allen. Please welcome head coach Brian Brady and the rest of the Carson Graham Eagles.
The starters on defense for Carson Graham, which means, of course, the John Barsby Bulldogs offensive starters just around the corner here as well.
Introducing the starting offense for the home team, John Barsby Bulldogs. Starting at running back number 1, Kai Redner Bruckman. Also at running back number 11, Ronde Lyle. Number 65, Carson Corbett Smith. Wide receiver number 2, Johnny Durkin. Wide receiver number 23, Braxton Rickman. Offensive tackle, number 75, Tyson Rafter. Starting at guard number 54, Marcus Gilbert Allen. Starting at center number 56, Chandler Owens. Starting at guard number 50, Joel Jacques. Starting at offensive tackle number 63, Ryler Dalton. And your starting quarterback number 7, Cohen Caju. Please welcome head coach Rob Stevenson and the rest of the Barsby Bulldogs. And the officials for today's game.
And with those intros out of the way, we'll bring it back up to the broadcast booth. Justin Morissette and Tino Farrow with you ahead of kickoff today between two teams wearing red. It's the Carson Graham Eagles in their road whites with the red pants and red numbers. And opposite them on the far sideline, as far as we're concerned up here in the booth, Tino, it is the John Barsby Bulldogs wearing their red jerseys with black numbering and white trim. So two very similar color schemes today as these teams get set to go head-to-head. And curious to note as well, that on the coaching side, head coach Brian Brady for Carson Graham double dipping today. He is both the coach of the junior varsity team and the men's varsity team that is coming up later on as well in the AA senior division. So you're going to see a lot of Brian Brady along the sidelines. He's got Larry Donahoe down there with him as well as team captains now step out to center field for the coin flip to get this one started.
Clearly runs a solid program if he's coaching in 2 championship games in one day.
I believe this is a first for Carson Graham to have made it this far under his stewardship. But yes, a very solid program that's taken some fine steps over the last half decade or so, let's say, since Brian has been at the helm as we await the results of this kickoff or this coin flip, I should say, and we'll find out very soon who will be kicking this one off and who's set to receive to start. Looks as though Carson Graham is set to receive to start this game off. And kickoff coming any second now. Teams will make their way back to their respective sidelines and then head on out to the field with their kicking and receiving crews. And it's the opening course of what promises to be a very full day of football here from BC Place Stadium. If you're just tuning in to watch your team of choice, no matter how you happen to be related to one of these teams out on the field here today, a parent or a fan, family member, so on, etc., you might want to stick around for the rest of the day because this is just the first of 4 championship games. As we said, we've got an all-star game coming your way as well in between the junior varsity and varsity championships. The AA JV championship game right here, followed by the AAA afterwards. Then a varsity all-star game from players that are not playing in this evening's bowl games before we get to the varsity AA championship game in the later evening around 4 o'clock. And I believe it's a 7 o'clock start time for the AA senior championship game. Kicking crew on the field for the John Barsby Bulldogs as Carson Graham set to receive, as we mentioned here, Tino.
Yeah, big start's going to be huge. We'll see what they can get with the first reception. See if they can set the tone early.
You love to make a big impression on the first play of the game, of course, but there's always perhaps a little bit of nerves when you play in a building like this. I know that it's not a huge capacity crowd in BC Place at the moment, but it is quite a spectacle to be here from field level if you're a player typically used to playing on high school fields, as it's John Barsby set to kick this one away and get this game started from their own 40, and it's a short squib kick that is bounced on at the 40, the opposite 40 on the Carson Graham side of the field. And it is Carson Graham able to come up with that one, number 22. That is Hazik Zakir able to jump on that one, as it looked like Carson was going to touch it, but there was an opportunity there for Barsby to recover off the kickoff.
Without a doubt, that's a really hard thing to receive anyways when the ball's bouncing low like that, but I'm going to chalk that one up to a little bit of nerves like you were just talking about before, playing in the big stadium. So I think the next time we see Zakir handle the ball, I think he's going to feel a lot more comfortable with it.
We tend to see a little bit of a feeling out process in the early stages of the games here in this building as the nerves settle down, but a quick strike on the first snap of the game. It's a pass that's complete as this Carson Graham offense heads to work. Finn Nemeth with the reception. I believe that is Liam Marshall taking snaps for the Carson Graham JV team. Indeed it is. As Marshall will hand the ball off this time, and it's a run up the gut along the right side of the field as they line up at the right hash mark. This time carried by number 37, Kai Nickel. And you might see Kai Nickel later on this evening as well. Did get some carries late in the game in the senior varsity AA semifinal last week. As they fake the handoff to Nickel, and it's the QB who will run it himself, but he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. That's Liam Marshall, who was tackled there, I believe, by number 58 for the Bulldogs, Cole Haslam.
You can see the crowd excited about that tackle as well. That's a good way to get him dialed into the game early.
4th down and 7 yards to go for a fresh set. Long snap, and quite wisely, Carson Graham will kick this one away. It's brought in by number 11, Rondé Lyle, and Lyle making moves as he cuts across the field. He could be off to the races here, finally pushed out of bounds, but quite a kick return for Rondé Lyle to give his team fine field position after that Eagles punt.
The crowd's getting excited after that one as well. We were watching the warm-ups earlier, and I was going to say the John Barsby team, they came out, they just looked dialed in a little bit more than I would say Carson Graham did in their warm-ups. They just looked like they came ready to play is just the best way I could put it. So I'm not really surprised they've gotten off to a hot start there with that run.
Helps, of course, when you come over from the island, so a bit of an earlier start for Barsby with a travel day this morning. They have shaken off their bus legs, though, if there were any to begin with. Another fine carry there for the Barsby Bulldogs. Pickup of 6 yards on that carry. That'll bring up 2nd and 4 as the Bulldogs go right back to work. Cohen Kedju. pitch this one into the hands of Rondé Lyle. Lyle cutting up the middle, and it's another big run for Rondé Lyle. That's been the story in this game so far, as he will move the chains and then some, a pickup of nearly 14. John Barsby Bulldogs first down.
Yeah, Rondé Lyle again. That's his second carry already in just this one run alone. Looks like he's going to be one of their go-to guys to take a lot of the yardage.
1st and 10 inside Carson Graham territory from the 36 as they run it again. And this time it's put in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. He's forced out, but I believe will move the chains once more. Yes, indeed he will. That is spotted at the 22 as this Barsby offense is rolling to start this game. Hello to our viewers in Nanaimo, tuning in to watch their boys.
I don't even know if they've had to pass the ball yet.
They have not. It's been all runs so far for Barsby, and when it's working like this, why wouldn't you keep going back to it as they look to run it again? Rondé Lyle brought down this time for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot this one, but it could be, looks like, 1st and 13.
Ethan Samuels showing off his strength there.
Say. Absolutely, as we get another look at it here. Looking for a strip, I think. Wasn't quite able to come up with that, but a fine tackle for Ethan Samuels nevertheless. Cohen Kaju takes the snap, hands the ball off, and again brought down. This time the ball carrier, number 65, Carson Corbett Smith, and it looks like this Eagles defense is finally clued in on the way that the Bulldogs want to run the ball to start this game.
Yeah, it almost looks like the way their defense is set up, they're kind of daring them to throw the ball. I don't know if that's just something they're making up, like as they go, improvising with how the play calls have gone thus far, but they're welcoming the pass, and
it hasn't been there yet.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Still in the early stages, less than 4 minutes gone in this game as it's the Bulldogs looking to run again, but this time Rondé Lyle stopped up as he gets to the line, but no further. We'll see where they spot this one as his forward progress, I believe, did make it back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to give him a yard, I think, but it still brings up 4th and long. Now the question is, Tino, at this level of football, does the John Barsby Bulldogs program have someone who can kick that ball through the uprights? It's not something we often see really at any level of the high school game, and it doesn't look like they do. They're going to go for it, I believe, here on 4th. Cohen Kaju takes a snap, fakes the handoff, puts the ball in the air, pass towards the end zone, and it is complete. Rondé Lyle, he had the biggest plays of that drive, and he's the one to get the Bulldogs on the board. 7:23 to go in the opening quarter. It's John Barsby 6 and Carson Graham 0.
And what a pass, too, by Kadu to just float it into the end zone. Rondé Lyle all on his own. Probably one of the easier catches he's going to make, but what a play, what a throw.
Especially in a 4th and long situation. We're going to turn the ball over on downs if they did not find a strike like that. Huge, as Lyle is also spotting the ball for the point after attempt. It is, I believe, good. No good, in fact. Too short. Tough to tell sometimes from the angle that we get up here in the booth, but we'll take another look at it on the replay. I believe that went wide to the left.
Big confidence builder for the Bulldogs as well on your first possession to be able to get as many runs from Lyle as they did, and then to be able to end up the entire possession with a touchdown from 4th and long as well, like you mentioned. That's a huge confidence builder on their first possession.
We talked about the fact that they were reluctant a little bit to throw the ball on that drive, Tino, and of course that is the play that winds up finding the end zone in the end. So we'll see if Carson Graham can make some adjustments on defense, some adjustments on offense as well, as their first drive did not maybe get them off to the start that they might have liked. They're going to get another shot at it here again, but we'll see if the Bulldogs go for another short squib kick, because that's how they started the game. Nearly recovered the loose ball on that opening kickoff. We'll see if they try to do it one more time. A little bit more boot on that one as it is going to roll out of bounds at the 27. And, of course, the flag on that play will force Barsby to kick it again, though we'll see if Carson Graham just simply elects to take the ball from the 27.
It's going to be interesting to see Carson Graham's response here afterwards in these championship games, and as well, like you mentioned before, playing in a big stadium like this with a crowd. It's very easy to let the nerves get the best of you, especially when these are grade 9 and 10 kids, realistically. So it's going to be interesting to see how they contain their emotions and respond after a first possession touchdown by John Barsby.
As the Carson Graham Eagles go right back to work, they're trailing 6-0 in the game, and what a throw down the field from Liam Marshall. Incomplete. But he's shown he's got an arm on him to be able to make things happen down the field. Talked about, of course, head coach Brian Brady double dipping as he's going to be working both games today. A lot of these players, though, that are on the field for this Carson Graham team are depth pieces for the senior varsity team as well. So big day for a lot of them, potentially playing 2 football games today. As Liam Marshall scrambles out of the pocket, elects to call his own number, and why not? Picks up 6 on the carry. And it'll bring up 3rd and 4 after that pass incompletion on first down.
I love the assertiveness there from Marshall to be able to, when he doesn't see anything available, he just says, guys, don't worry about it. I'll take it myself. I'll get us some yards. I love that leadership ability.
Quick on making that decision as well, which is really important, as this time he's looking to pass. He did find his receiver, but we have a whistle and a flag on the play right at the gate, so they're going to blow this one dead. It's offside on the defense at 3rd and 4. That will, I believe, move the chains and give them a first down. Indeed it will. As this ball marched forward to about the 47. As Carson Graham gets a fresh set of downs for the first time in this game. Less than 7 minutes with which to work here in the opening quarter. Still plenty of time left in this game. As Liam Marshall set to take the snap, long snap, and he's looking skyward. Feels the pressure coming, going to spin out of the pocket and run it to the left side. Brought down as he gets back to the line. No, it's going to be a sack. Brought down for a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Looks like that was Ryder Dalton with his first sack of the game. Showing off his strength this time.
A lot of pressure on that play from the Barsby defense is what forced the quarterback to scramble out of the pocket in the first place. This time they hand the ball off to Kai Nickel. He's brought down in the backfield, but there was a whistle on the play to blow that dead before all that got underway. This time the flag goes against the offense. Second and 15 after a 5-yard penalty flag for a false start. Carson. Nice little pitch play, a nice run here for the Eagles, who will break back inside the yardsticks but still have a ways to go here on 3rd down. I believe pushed out of bounds was Kai Nickel at about the 50. They're going to spot him at the 49 on his side of the field. So that'll bring up 3rd and 6. Long snap once again. Passes away. It is complete along the right sideline. And there we go. Carson Graham picking up enough yards after the catch to move the chains on that one, as Liam Marshall's pass was complete. I didn't catch the number on the receiver. Finn Nemeth, number 19. Is the man in the middle of that pile of bodies when it's all said and done, and the Eagles go right back to work. This time it's a long pass. Nearly picked off was Liam Marshall, but instead overthrown, and that one will fall harmlessly incomplete.
We're seeing a lot of versatility now from Liam Marshall. We've seen his ability to run, throw long bombs, just throw little short tosses as well. So I like this kid. I like this kid early.
He certainly had time. That offensive line is doing work to give their quarterback some time with which to think and make decisions, and he's making the most of it so far in this drive. Second down from the 40. 10 yards to go. Pass complete again to Finn Nemeth. Nemeth trying to cut up the left side this time, and he's brought down with a tough tackle. Was pushed right over the body of number 1, Kai Redner-Bruckman, but he's going to spring back to his feet. Talking about guys who are playing both JV and varsity this year. Kai Redner-Bruckman won as well for the Barsby Bulldogs. Was playing in this building just last weekend. Another pass complete, as Carson will move the chains once more. That one into the hands of Eric Town, and Town will pick up about 10 yards on that play. Only needed 7.
Slow and steady seems to be the game plan here for Carson Graham. It took them a little while to get over half, but now that they're there, they're slowly working their way downfield.
Liam Marshall has been looking for some long strikes so far. We'll see if he can get one. That pass blocked. But it is an incomplete pass, as the Bulldogs thought they could jump on a live ball. Not the case.
This is that energy we were talking about earlier with the good warm-up from John Barsby. This time it's A.J. Barter coming in. With no one in front of him, gets his hands up and blocks the pass. Pretty easy play for him.
This time pass is complete. Again to Eric Town. Not a huge pickup there, but it's something. Only going to give him a yard. Wow, I'm surprised by that. Thought it was a little bit more, but regardless, that'll bring up 3rd and 9. Marshall takes the snap. Sees a hole, tries to run it himself, and as he gets back to the middle of the field, he's brought down from behind. And it looks like number 63 for the Bulldogs, Ryler Dalton, with the tackle on that one. And it looks like we're going to see the Eagles go for it here on 4th down. That was the successful play for the Bulldogs not long ago. Liam Marshall will take the snap, assessing his options, passes it over to the right side, and it's incomplete. Was trying to connect with Kai Nickel, who just had it bounce off of his gloves and hit the turf. And he looks upset with himself as his offense will head back to the sidelines. But really a strong drive for Carson Graham. A lot of pieces there that they can build off of and take some fine motivation and momentum as this game rolls along.
For sure, and I think this is going to be a huge defensive stand in terms of the importance of the game, of game management rather, for Carson Graham to have given up a touchdown on their first time on the field before, and then now to get down the field and not really get much out of it. This is going to be a really important defensive stop for them.
Turnover on downs as the Bulldogs starting from their own 26. And it looks like they might move the chains on 1st down here after a nice carry from who else? Number 11, Rondé Lyle. He's been the straw that stirs the drink so far in this one. And indeed, it is a 1st down for Barsby. Bulldogs offense goes right back to work, this time putting the ball in the hands of number 1, Kai Redner-Bruckman, and he also chews up a good bit of yardage there. Not quite enough for a 1st down, but not far from it either. That's going to be 2nd and about 1.5.
Obviously early, nothing too crazy to worry about just yet, but the Eagles just don't really seem to have an answer right now for the Bulldogs.
That running game for the Bulldogs certainly seems to be doing whatever it wants at the moment, and they're going to pick up a good chunky yardage here again as it's a sweep run to the right side in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. He's brought down at about the 47, but they're inside Carson Graham territory on the field now. They're going to spot at the 49. It's another 1st down for the Bulldogs, 1st and 10 inside the Carson Graham side of the field.
Yeah, you said it best. Their running game is just doing whatever they want. They're dictating the pace of the game wherever they want to go on the field. They'll run it the entire way if they want to at this point.
Again, started way back in their own zone at around the 20 or so they've already picked up 30 yards on this drive as it continues, and the ball put back into the hands of Rondé Lyle. Nice little fake handoff that I believe fooled a good many defensemen out there. Definitely fooled me up here in the booth.
It's a sign of a good handoff when it fools the broadcasters, too.
4 yards picked up on that carry for Lyle. Will bring up 2nd and 6 from the 45. This time they'll throw the ball, and it's complete. As there's a good pickup there that will move the chains once again. They only needed 6 yards for a fresh set of downs. I believe they got 7.
Braxton Rickman, brought down by
Braxton Rickman, number 23, his first reception of the game. The defensive back as well, so look out. He might come up with some interceptions before the day is done as well. But it's 1st and 10 now from the 38 as this Bulldogs drive just continues to roll. Cohen Kaju takes the snap, hands the ball off once again to Kai Redner-Bruckman. Bruckman will pick up, about 6 or so.
Kay Redner-Bruckman, the ball carrier for Barsby. Tackled by Chase Baker.
Excuse me if this terminology isn't correct. I'm a big lacrosse guy, but when we see guys like that running through a crowd that still come out with the ball, we call them slippery. That's what I'm seeing a lot from this Kai Redner-Bruckman. He's able to get through a crowd and still end up with the ball despite going through a few guys.
This time pass complete to number 2, Johnny Durkin for the Bulldogs, and this will move the chains, I do believe. Oh, no, they're going to say that it's 3rd and 1, so did not quite get there. And now the question is, do we see them go for a short pass here, or do they just try to run the ball up the middle, as has been successful for them so far? They're going to run it and put it in the hands of who else? Rondé Lyle, who gets the 1 yard needed to move the chains, and then a lot more than that as well. This one started at the 30, and they're going to bring him down at the 13. So a pickup of 17 on that carry for Rondé Lyle, as he has been the best player in this game so far.
Without a doubt. Coach asked for 1 yard. He said, Coach, relax. I'll give you 17. Unbelievable so far.
As the Carson Graham Eagles elect to call timeout here with 4 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Barsby already with a touchdown on their opening drive. It's their 2nd drive of the game now, and they've marched this thing from their own 23 now all the way down to the Carson 13. They're knocking on the door, and the Eagles hoping that they can get out of trouble with this hot start for the Barsby Bulldogs offensively. Really could not ask for a better start to this game if you're the John Barsby coaching staff, or, of course, the faithful watching from home. Or the faithful watching right here in this building as they get quite a cheer as they break the huddle following that timeout. Cohen Kaju set to take a short snap. Hands the ball off for a run up the middle in the hands of Colton Finstad, and a bit of an odd play there, but it is brought down. So we get a look at the replay. There's almost a lack of intensity on that run, like it was a practice play or something like that, but they pick up 4 yards on the carry nevertheless. 2nd and 6 as we reach the end of the first quarter. Points on the board belong to the John Barsby Bulldogs, a 6-0 lead as we head into quarter number 2.
Yeah, I think it just comes back, like I mentioned before, I think it just comes back to the preparation heading into the warm-up. You know what I mean? I think one team came out fired up, ready to go. One team came out looking at the big stadium, maybe getting a little overwhelmed. So response time if you're the Eagles.
We did see some great changes to the strategy, some adjustments, I should say, from Carson Graham. last weekend in the senior varsity semifinal. And it is incumbent on them at the moment to make some tweaks once more. If they can get out of their own end here in a one-score game, that would be quite an accomplishment. But if I was a betting man, I would say that the Bulldogs, the way they've been rolling to start this game, likely to find the house here once again.
Yeah, they seem like they're a train going full speed on the tracks right now, and we've been saying it the entire time. Carson Graham, they have to find an answer, because right now the Bulldogs are certainly dictating the pace of play. They're kind of doing whatever they want, and they've hardly even passed the ball, like we mentioned before. They're running it wherever they want to. I can't wait to see what happens when they do decide to throw the ball, to see if that's as dominant as their run game.
Second down, 6 yards to go for a fresh set. As it's a run up the middle, Kai Redner-Bruckman, he just threw on the Jets. It was like a video game. Got that turbo boost, but he's brought down before he can find the house. It does bring up a fresh set of downs, though. It's going to be, I believe, 1st and goal. No, they're going to say he did not pass the first down marker, so 3rd and inches here.
Took 4 guys to pull him down.
Opportunity now for Carson Graham to make a big stop on defense. Can they do it? No, they cannot. And it is the John Barsby Bulldogs with their second touchdown of the day, and the second touchdown for number 11, Rondé Lyle.
Yeah, I think the Eagles know who they got to shut down if they want to try to stop this run, but
easier said than done, too.
No kidding, yeah. And I mentioned before as well that it was going to be such an important defensive stand if they were able to try to get themselves back into the swing of things here. Like, the longer this run goes on for, the deeper the hole that they're digging for themselves is. And if Rondé Lyle's just going to continue to do whatever he wants, then this game may be over earlier than we think.
Of course, these championship games do find a way to be even right to the end, even if they start lopsided. We'll see if the Carson Graham Eagles can climb back in this one. Still plenty of time left, of course, in the early stages of the second quarter. Less than 40 seconds gone here in the second frame. As stop on the point after attempt. The Barsby Bulldogs were looking for 2 points on that one, instead get none. And it's a 12-point lead on the board, 12-0 over Carson Graham.
All right, let's see what's drawn up now for the Eagles. Let's see what they can come up with for another big response after.
See what kind of field position they start with, of course, as the Bulldogs have been going for that tricky squib kick thus far on their 2 kickoffs. That's the difficult thing for Carson Graham here as well. You think about the way this game started. They find themselves in a 12-0 hole early in the second quarter, but they received the ball to start. So they're going to kick it away at the beginning of the second half, and that is not what they want to be doing given where they are on the scoreboard.
And, we've seen the long bombs as well already from Liam Marshall. So, like one good pass or one good run, they're like right back into this. So it's certainly not panic time by any means yet. We're just going to have to see a couple guys step up a little bit more than they have thus far already.
Absolutely right. Liam Marshall's been looking downfield for a long strike, has not been able to connect as of yet, but if he does, we could be in a one-score game once again as the Barsby Bulldogs get set to kick this one away. Another bouncer that's gathered in about the 23. By number 23, Eric Town, who will carry it forward about 7 yards or so. Eagles going to start this drive from their own 28. Liam Marshall fakes the handoff and passes downfield with a bullet. That's how you get the drive off right. As the receiver, tough to take off his feet, Finn Nemeth trying to chew up as many yards as he possibly can after the catch. What a play to start this drive from their own 28. They now find themselves on the Barsby 42. That's another pass, complete once again. This time it's a run along the sidelines. Kai Nickel, the carrier this time after that reception. Picked up about 6.5, I believe. Going to call it 2nd and 4. This time it's a shovel pass in the backfield. Into the hands once again of Kai Nickel. And as Nickel was wrapped up, they tried to pull the ball out of his hands, but he did a good job to hang on to that one, and he'll move the chains as well.
This is exactly what we were talking about before. Connect on a couple of those long ball passes, and they're doing it quickly, too, in quick succession. So they're not really giving this Bulldogs defense a lot of time to settle in.
As it's another pass complete. Short pass. We'll see what they can pick up after the catch, and it's about a 9-yard pickup, it looks like. That one complete to number 23, Eric Town. Get another look at that pass again. Not passing very far. He's just putting the receivers in a fine position to be able to pick up some yards after the catch. And this time, it's the quarterback, Liam Marshall, who elects to run the ball himself. He'll look for the near sideline, but couldn't quite get there. On his sliding attempt, went right into the body of number 2, Johnny Durkin for the Bulldogs, but he still moves the chains, and it's a first down. Carson Graham, they're now at the 15 inside John Barsby territory. Marshall will hand the ball off this time. Run right up the middle by Kai Nickel once again. And Nickel brought down just shy of the end zone, but they're knocking on the door right now, and then he'll move the chains once more. It's 1st and goal from the 4. Easily Carson Graham's best moments of this game as they look for a touchdown but can't quite get there. Kai Nickel brought down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. But you mentioned the quickness with which that they've been hitting these passes, Tino. And there does look to be a bit of an extra level of intensity for the Eagles so far on this drive.
Yeah, this offense finally came out looking to dictate the play, and like I said before, they just haven't given the Bulldogs an opportunity to get set on defense here.
Liam Marshall fakes the handoff, tries to run it himself. He's wrapped up and brought down after a pickup of 2. That'll bring up 3rd down, but gets his team that much closer to the house. They only need 2 more yards and have 2 downs with which to get it if they can. John Barsby Bulldogs now electing to call timeout as they need to come up with a defensive stop here. And my, how the tables have turned as head coach Brian Brady out on the field to talk to his JV boys.
Smart move to call a timeout here, I think, if you're the defense, to be able to just kind of settle in. Like I said before, like with how quickly this Eagles offense has been moving up the field on this possession, it sort of seems like for the first time this game we've seen sort of a Bulldogs defense or team in general that's looking a little bit shaken up, like they haven't really been able to dictate the way they have thus far in the game. So I think that's a smart move to use a timeout, tell guys to settle down, and it's still very possible for them to get a defensive stop here if they stick to their game plan.
Eagles only have 2 more tries to find the house. It's 3rd down. They're on the 3-yard line. Liam Marshall set to take the snap. He's going to look for the end zone. Pass complete, and they do get the touchdown. Finn Nemeth gets Carson Graham on the board less than 3 minutes into the 2nd quarter. We got a 1-score game. The Barsby Bulldogs up 12 on the Carson Graham Eagles 6.
What a way to close out the possession. You started with the pass game. You'll finish with the pass game. That's what a possession from Liam Marshall to come out onto the field and just take over for, at the very least, 1 run. We'll see how they can carry on with the rest of the game here.
As they're going to go for 2 points on the conversion here as well. We'll see if they're able to come up with it. Pass into the end zone, and it is good. The same guy who had the touchdown gets an extra 2 points on the board as well. Finn Nemeth, what a catch. As we have a 4-point game here. Barsby up 12-8.
Finn Nemeth, calm, cool, and collected. Just march out on the floor or onto the field with Liam Marshall and, let them do the rest. I think I've said this now already 2 or 3 times, but once again, super, super important defensive stand now for the Eagles if they're able to get a stop and turn the momentum in their favor, or at least keep it in their favor after that run.
Well, credit to Carson Graham, though, because that was really a drive that was engineered by committee. We've seen really Rondé Lyle be the guy for the John Barsby Bulldogs, but pretty nice spread as far as who was moving the ball on that drive for Carson Graham. Liam Marshall, of course, doing a fine job with the passing, but Finn Nemeth not the only guy making things happen on that drive. Eric Town with some nice receptions, and of course you cannot underscore the contributions of Kai Nickel either. So some real fine showings right up and down that Carson Graham offensive side on that drive. As it's the Eagles who are set to kick this one away. A little over 9 minutes to go in the half. Still anyone's game after what looked like a lopsided start in favor of the Bulldogs, as Barsby having trouble now hopping on that hot potato. That bouncing ball even harder to gather in on a cold morning such as this one.
There's snow on my car this morning.
Really?
The cold streets of Surrey, British Columbia.
Oh, my goodness. Heard rumblings last night that there might be some snow this morning, but I didn't see any in the West End myself. As right now it's the Barsby Bulldogs going right back to work. It's a 4-point game, but it is worth noting that Barsby's yet to be stopped on any of their drives thus far. They've scored on their 2 possessions to this point. And will look to go 3 for 3 after a pickup of about 4 on that opening carry. That one, of course, in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. Bulldogs looking for the carry as well, putting it in the hands of who else? Rondé Lyle. He's wrapped up and pushed way backwards. Curious to see where they spot this one. Of course, his forward momentum probably came to a halt about 10 yards ahead of where he actually hit the turf. And that is exactly what they're going to say. Short loss, I believe. Maybe 1 yard on that play will bring up probably 3rd and 8.
Finally seeing the Eagles defense pay a little more attention to Rondé Lyle as well. You see how many guys they had covering that one side of the field.
Cohen Cadieux hands the ball off to Kai Redner-Bruckman. Bruckman with a sweep out to the right side, able to throw on the Jets once again, and he will get past the first down marker to move the chains. Brought down at the 45. And again, the Jets on this guy, he looks like he's not of this earth. It's video game stuff.
Yeah, there's that speed burst again. And, you know, one side has Rondé Lyle on it, the other side has Kai Redner-Bruckman. So if you're a defense here, there's a lot to handle, but got to come up with something here.
Barsby with a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from their own 45 as they looked across the midway point of the field, and they do indeed, and will move the chains again. At the Carson Graham 41, Kai Redner-Bruckman finally brought down, and now that they're keying in on Rondé Lyle, it's Redner-Bruckman who seems free to cut up the field. Dual threats in the backfield for this Barsby Bulldogs team, and that's not even counting their quarterback, Cohen Cadieux.
Still haven't even thrown yet either.
One throw to the end zone for Rondé Lyle, of course. As this time brought down for a loss. I believe that's number 77, Max Michelacci Davis for the Eagles, who gets that sack. And I believe recovered the ball as well, forced a fumble and jumped on it. So we got a turnover here. The Carson Graham offense going back to work. That's one way to stop a drive.
Tables certainly seem to have turned.
Flow of play certainly seemed like it was all John Barsby at the time as the Carson Graham Eagles go right back to work here. Liam Marshall will try to engineer another successful drive after finding the end zone on his last time out. This time he'll run the ball himself, brought down at about the 49. That's a pickup of 4 on the rush for the Carson QB.
I'm impressed so far by the Eagles' ability to not be too rattled and to come back and just stick with their game plan as the game has gone along.
As they try to move the sticks once again, and they will. That ball shoveled right into the hands of Kai Nickel, and he'll cut up the right sideline for a pickup of about 16 or so, if I'm not mistaken. Depending on where it's spotted. 1st and 10 from the 37 inside enemy territory. Handoff once again. Nickel going to cut to the left side this time. And a nice, healthy chunk of yardage as he's brought down after a pickup of about 8.5, I'd say. Kai Nickel rising to the challenge after some big runs from the Barsby side of the ball. This time we got a flag on the play as the ball is snapped, as it looked like Marshall was set to hand the ball right back into the hands of Kai Nickel once again. Instead, we're going to have to wait and see what the call is here. Oh, flag rescinded. John Barsby, however, electing to call timeout is what I believe the PA announcer just let us know.
Yeah, like I was mentioning before, I'm thoroughly impressed by Carson Graham's ability to be able to, the way the Tides were going in the first quarter, and
it looked like this game could get out of hand.
For sure, it looked like it was going to get ugly early, but John Barsby, Carson Graham, they did a great job of just, obviously they had a game plan going into this. They let John Barsby ride the high tides and stick with the momentum. Meanwhile, sticking with their game plan, they're able to just, let's take a breath here, guys. We knew they were going to come out hot. Let's just keep going with what we're going to do, and we know that our game plan is going to get us some success.
You have to stick to the little details, and it can be hard to keep that focus when you find yourself trailing significantly, but it's those little things that add up to points on the board, and that's what Carson Graham's looking to add once again here. But in the meantime, quarterback Liam Marshall sacked as he tried to spin out of trouble, felt that pressure coming but could not escape it.
It's easy to forget as well. Like these are kids that are out here realistically. So it's not crazy to think that they can get wrapped up in the emotion super easily. So for these kids to be able to stick with it, and I'm just thoroughly impressed.
Barsby called with the offsides, and that's going to give Carson Graham a fresh set of downs here. We're looking at 3rd and 5. That'll march the ball forward and move the sticks as well. So 1st and 10 for Carson Graham from the 26. As Liam Marshall showing all kinds of poise in the pocket as he's set to take the snap once again. Will pass to the left side. But his receivers got nowhere to go. That was Eric Town, who was wrapped up immediately and brought down after a short – actually didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to say that's a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Marshall takes the snap. Looking skyward, downfield with a strike complete to Finn Nemeth. Nemeth spins off one tackle. Impossible to take off his feet. They tried to strip the ball from him, and he's able to hang on to that as well. What a reception. Finn Nemeth, he's got the touchdown for Carson Graham in this game and has brought them within striking distance of getting a second.
Nice little stutter step, too, to get around the first guy. I believe that was Rondé Lyle. Who else that was coming to take him down? Just a quick little stutter step, and he's by him.
1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Marshall takes the snap, will hand the ball off. As that was Kai Nickel trying to run it up the gut. Gets right back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a pickup of inches there, but not much. Marshall, once again, set to take the snap. Will fake the handoff and then run the ball himself. He's looking out to the right side, able to grab a couple yards, it looks like, but not much again, as this Barsby defense is shutting the door inside their own 10-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down. 2 more cracks for the Carson Graham Eagles to find the house.
There's that quick decision-making by Liam Marshall again, decided to try to run it this time.
See what he does this time around as he's got receivers in motion but can't quite connect with them, and he'll finally put the ball in the air, and it is complete. What a pass! Liam Marshall into the end zone for Sebastian Moldenhauer, and it's Moldenhauer who will give the Eagles their first lead of the game. They trailed 12-0, and with 3:44 to go here in the second quarter, it's Carson Graham 14, John Barsby 12.
Scrambling out of the pocket as well, Liam Marshall was, and he found a way to get out of trouble. Thought he was going to lose some yardage there, but gets a handle on the play, gets a handle on the ball. He had 2 receivers wide open in the end zone. What a play.
He was able to convert on the 2-point attempt after their last touchdown earlier in this quarter. Can he do it again? No, he cannot. A valiant effort nevertheless, however. And what a turnaround for the Carson Graham Eagles, who, as you mentioned, had a big test, Tino, at the other side of the field back at the end of the first quarter when it looked like Barsby was knocking on the door for their second touchdown. They could not make that stop there, but they have seemed a lot more settled, both on offense and defense, in the time since.
Most certainly a game of runs, of momentum swings. Started off early, heavily in favor of Barsby, like you said. Carson Graham has come back absolutely rolling in this second quarter, and they've dictated everything so far.
We credit, of course, Liam Marshall, the quarterback for Carson Graham, for engineering that drive, but a tip of the cap as well to number 37, Kai Nickel, who saw the way the running game was going for the John Barsby Bulldogs and decided, you know what, I want it on that action. Let's put me in the contention for player of the game. Still another half left to play as it's a squib kick, a bouncer for Carson Graham. Here going to take a very fortuitous bounce for the Eagles and finally go out of bounds at the 7-yard line. That will put a flag on the field, of course, for the ball going out of play, but curious to see what they elect to do. Doesn't look like this one's going to be re-kicked as the kicking team heads back to the sidelines for Carson Graham. And it does look as though they're going to start this drive from their own 7-yard line. The John Barsby Bulldogs in deep.
Long way to go. We'll see if their run game can carry them up the field again.
And, of course, that last drive, their third of the game, was halted on a turnover, a fumble that was recovered by Carson Graham. The Eagles yet to make a stop as far as turnover on downs are concerned, but we'll see if they're able to do it this time around. Or if the Barsby Bulldogs retake the lead with their third touchdown. Would have to go a long way to do it. As we said, they start this drive from their own 7. Maybe even further back than that, their own 6, in fact. But it's an offside against the Eagles, which will give Barsby better field position, 1st and 5 from the 11. Cohen Cadieux takes the snap, hands the ball off, and it's Rondé Lyle going to run it out to the left side. He's able to dodge one tackle, finally forced out of bounds. And I do mean forced. What a tackle that was by number 50 for Carson Graham, Nate Wheeler. Able to finally put a stop to that run, but it will move the sticks. That's a first down for John Barsby.
Yeah, big run for Rondé Lyle again. And it's important to remember as well, on their last possession, had it not been for Carson Graham, getting the turnover in their favor, John Barsby was running the field again. Like, they were on pace for another touchdown, running it the entire way. So Carson Graham still hasn't found a way to put a stop to the run game of specifically Rondé Lyle.
Kai Redner-Bruckman this time with the carry. He's going to go back to the right side. And it's that dual threat once again, the two-headed monster in the backfield for the John Barsby Bulldogs, like a hydra. If you cut off the head of Rondé Lyle, Kai Redner-Bruckman is still there to do some damage. And he did just that. It's going to be another first down for the Bulldogs.
What a reference.
There's just no stopping these guys unless you can force a turnover. That's how the last drive came to an end, and this time it's Kai Redner-Bruckman again. He just ran into a wall of bodies, and I'll use your word this time, Tino, slippery, elusive, evasive. Could not be hauled down. Nice little pickup of 6 yards, or maybe 5 on that carry, but he really should have had nothing when you look at the number of defenders that he ran straight into. Very impressive stuff for Redner-Bruckman.
Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about this entire time. Carson Graham needs to find an answer for the run game of John Barsby. They haven't been able to find an answer yet.
As we'll see who Cohen Cadieux elects to hand the ball off to this time. It's Rondé Lyle. Lyle had his feet wrapped up, and he's brought down, but it's a pickup of 7. Only needed 5 for a first down. That'll move the sticks again. And look at this. They started on their own 6-yard line. They're already at the 50, already at midfield. So impressive.
I got to wonder if this is partially in their game plan. Like maybe not to discredit their defense at all, but I wonder if they're aware that they can sort of do whatever they want for the most part with their offense, specifically with their run game. So that's more so where their game plan is focused in on.
I've really not seen Cohen Cadieux run, or rather pass the ball hardly at all. This time he puts the ball back in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. And Bruckman with a pickup of about, let's call it 12 or 13. It's 11, but regardless, it's a fresh set of downs. First down once again for the Bulldogs. Take another look at this run on the replay. So impressive what Kai Redner-Bruckman has been able to do here, especially in the second quarter, as Barsby elects to run the ball again. This time it's Rondé Lyle. He's wrapped up and brought down. Pickup of 7. And they'll bring up 2nd and 3. And that's just incredible. You know, it feels like an accomplishment to stop them at 7 yards.
No kidding. They're like you say, they've been moving the chains on every possession so far. Until they find an answer for those 2 runners, they're going to be handcuffed for a lot of this game if they can't find an answer.
Have a penalty flag that's going to go against the Barsby Bulldogs. It's an illegal motion against the offense that'll walk it back 5 yards and bring up 2nd and 8. Eight yards to go. The way that Redner-Bruckman and Rondé Lyle have been running thus far, you could probably pick that up in one play right here. We'll see if they do. Cohen Cadieux takes the snap. He's going to look to pass, and it's complete to Kai Redner-Bruckman. Ball came loose. They're going to say that was incomplete. So Redner-Bruckman will take another look at it here. Was able to get the ball in his hands, but didn't quite hang on to it long enough.
That's something I mentioned earlier as well. It's almost like they're daring the Bulldogs offense to throw the ball, and I think you sort of saw how open the receiver was there with them being dared to throw the ball.
And this time the Bulldogs will run it again, but a pair of fake handoffs there had me tricked again. I'm fooled up here in the booth as far as who was the ball carrier on that one. It was a double handoff. So the quarterback, Cohen Cadieux, did hand that one off to Kai Redner-Bruckman, but Bruckman immediately put it in the hands of Rondé Lyle, and it's Lyle who will pick up a first down for the Bulldogs. This time, Cadieux to throw. It's in the air, complete to Rondé Lyle, and he's brought down before he can find the end zone. But it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3. Rondé Lyle with his 2nd reception of the day. The first one was the game's opening touchdown.
This is incredible. Like, obviously not to discredit any of the other offensive players for this John Barsby team, but between these 3 players of Kai Redner-Bruckman, Cohen Cadieux, and then Rondé Lyle, this is just an incredible offensive run.
They are looking like a 3-man band at the moment as it's Cadieux going to scramble, looking to throw, but he's going to be hauled down for a sack as he tried to run that one himself at the last second. I believe tried to think about at least throwing to the end zone, and one of the underrated moments or elements of this game at the moment is the time on the clock. I didn't even realize that the John Barsby Bulldogs only have 14 seconds right now with which to work as they're in a 2nd and 5 situation. 2nd and goal from the 5, I should say, rather. But not a lot of time left on the clock here, and that's why the Bulldogs have elected to call timeout once again and talk things over. Try and come out of this thing with a lead heading into the half.
Do we have a prediction on the play call here?
Well, the run has worked for them thus far.
That was going to be my answer as well.
But does that create opportunity for your passing game as the game rolls along, though, Tino? Because, you know, you and I are expecting run. I believe that Eagles defense probably expecting run as well. We haven't seen that many passes from Cohen Cadieux today. I think really just the 2, maybe 3. He's got 2 completions on 3 attempts, if I'm not mistaken. And that 3rd attempt looked like it was complete as well, but it did hit off the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman, or he wasn't able to hang on to it, rather, as they do look for a pass here, and it is incomplete. And picked off, in fact. The Carson Graham Eagles come away with the football. What a turn of events, as we're going to have to see a replay on this one. My eyes were glued to Rondé Lyle. I didn't even notice the pick. Ball is up and grabbed. What a diving effort. Incredible stuff for Carson Graham. I believe that was number 40, Griffin Allen, able to come up with the turnover on that one.
Putting his body on the line in the championship game. This is what you love to see. This is what you play for. Griffin Allen, your biggest play coming at the most important time so far.
9 seconds left in the half. The Carson Graham Eagles just looking to avoid surrendering a safety, as Liam Marshall, with a long snap count, forces the defense to go offside, and that'll get them out of danger territory a little bit at the very least.
Yeah, it's still 9 seconds on the clock to work with here.
Only marches the ball forward by 5 yards. We're going to 1st and 5 from the 7, but if you are Liam Marshall, you have to be a little bit relieved at least to not be taking the snap directly in your own end zone. He's on his own 1-yard line as he takes this one in. Looks downfield, will run it himself. Nice little pickup there for the quarterback. Liam Marshall hauled down at about the 13 or so. And that will be the final play of the half. Took that time off the clock, and I believe that was his sole intention all along in the first place. It looked like he was going to fake a punt for a second there. But at the half, improbably given the way this one started, the Carson Graham Eagles do hold the lead after 2 quarters. Still plenty of game left to play as John Barsby has been knocking on the door. Their running game has been looking fantastic all game long. Can they climb back in this one? It's turnovers that have really been the story, as the Eagles, with a pair of recoveries, 1 fumble, 1 interception. That's the story of this game as we head into the half. Any final thoughts from you, Tino, before we let the folks grab a break here and come back to them in about 10 minutes' time?
Yeah, I would say, grab your snacks, grab your drinks. Don't go anywhere, because if the first half is any kind of indication of how the second half is going to go, we got ourselves an incredible championship game, and I am so excited to see how this one turns out.
His name is Tino Farah. My name is Justin Morissette. We're coming to you live from BC Place Stadium in beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia. It's the 2021 BC School Sports Subway Bowl Championship Saturday. The AA Junior Varsity Final. We're looking at it right now. Carson Graham 14, John Barsby 12. We'll be back with you before you know it. Go fix yourself a sandwich, grab yourself a beverage. More football action coming your way.
Chance on me. thought was you. And I know you got your eyes on me. If you think you still keep running back, I know you took a chance on me. And I've always wanted to get on you. And I know you want to get on me. I got visions I was running back. I know you're right here with me.
I like the way that you come around. I hate the way that you leave. I love the way that you bring me down to my knees. When you say forever is way too hard, well it breaks. You know that it breaks my heart. Oh, I guess there's nothing to talk about if that's the way that you feel. I'm up at night, can't sleep, no, I can't sleep, no, I can't sleep without you. I'm up at night, can't sleep, so I daydream, daydream about you. And everything we used to have, wish I could turn back time. If I could get you back, then I could close my eyes. I'm up at night, can't sleep, so I daydream, about you, about you. It's pretty cold on the West Coast, but you look hot in New York. Oh, oh. I started listening to disco, even though I used to hate it before. Oh, when you said forever was way too far, what you meant was you didn't want my heart. Oh, keep thinking, where did the love go? 'Cause nothing's making sense anymore. I'm up at night, can't sleep, no, I can't sleep, no, I can't sleep without you. I'm up at night, can't sleep, so I daydream, about you. And everything we used to have, wish I could turn back time. If I could get you back, then I could close my eyes. I'm up at night, can't sleep, so I daydream, about you, about you. Sleep, no, I can't sleep without you. I'm up at night, can't sleep, so I daydream, about you. And everything we used to have, wish I could turn back time. If I could get you back, then I could close my eyes. I'm up at night, can't sleep, so I daydream, about you, about you.
I'm doing just fine now, it's over. I've been moving on and living my life, but occasionally I lose composure, and I can get you out of my mind. If I could go back in time, I'd do things differently, yeah, I wouldn't think twice. I distract myself, think of someone else, but every now and then you remind me. It's only when I'm lying in bed on my own, and I wake up and I don't see your name on my phone. To the moments where I think that I'm better alone. That's when I remember, every time I walk past your house in the rain, and I tell myself that you are the biggest mistake. And just when I think I'm finally doing okay, that's when I remember
time. I do things differently, I wouldn't think twice. I distract myself, think of someone else. But every now and then you remind me it's only when I'm lying in bed on my own, and I wake up and I don't see your name on my phone. To the moments where I think that I'm better alone. That's when I remember, that's when I remember. Every time I walk past your house in the rain, and I tell myself that you were the biggest mistake. And just when I think I'm finally doing okay, that's when I remember, that's when I remember. I'm missing you. It's only when I'm lying in bed on my own, and I wake up and I don't see your name on my phone. To the moments where I think that I'm better alone. That's when I remember, that's when I remember. Girl, close your eyes, let that rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it, there ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind, lay back and groove with mine. You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I'll rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. I'll rock with you all night. Gonna rock the night. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there but us. Girl, when you dance, there's a magic that must be love. Just take it slow. We got so far to go. When you feel that heat, and we gonna ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. I'll rock with you all night. Gonna rock the night away. And when the groove is dead and gone, yeah, you know that love survives. So we can rock forever.
All right, folks, welcome back inside BC Place Stadium. We're moments away from the beginning of the second half here in the Junior Varsity AA Championship game, the regional championship, I should say, for the Lower Mainland. Of course, Another set of championship games going on in the interior over the weekend, this weekend as well. But what a game it has been so far. My name is Justin Morissette, joined up in the booth by Tino Farah. And Tino, oh my goodness, what a first half we've already seen here.
Yeah, I thought after the way the first two offensive possessions went for John Barsby, I thought that that's sort of how the game was going to be going. They'd sort of dictated the flow of play, and they were just going to be able to literally run, however, in whichever direction they wanted to, as much as they wanted to. But in the second quarter, Carson Graham came out flying. Huge shout out to the arm of Liam Marshall, who just came out and said, guys, don't worry, I got this. Let's settle things down. And, of course, no discredit to any of his receivers or anything like that. The entire offensive line was incredible. But the question now for the rest of the game is, can Carson Graham find an answer for the run game of John Barsby?
As I was saying at the end of the first half before we hit the break, turnovers really the story of this game. A fumble recovery and an interception for Carson Graham, the two things that have held Barsby out of the end zone on their two unsuccessful drives. They went 2 for 4 as far as drives finding the house on that last quarter, or in that last quarter, I should say, as the Carson Graham Eagles kicked the ball away. And we get things started with a return in the hands of Johnny Durkin for the Bulldogs. He's brought down at about the 39, and that's fine field position, I should say, with which to begin this drive. Though I think they're going to spot it closer to the 35. Indeed they do. So we'll see what kind of adjustments were made on both sides at the half. Carson Graham looking for an answer to this Barsby running game, and they find it on the first play of the drive. Ball put into the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. He hits the line but can't go much further than that. Maybe a pickup of inches, 2nd and 9.
We'll have to see how the rest of this possession goes before I can call that specific defensive play an adjustment. But so far, that's a really good start defensively for Carson Graham to be able to shut down Kai Redner-Bruckman.
Redner-Bruckman taking the handoff once again. He's going to pick up about 6 on this carry. So they're not going to stop him every single time. And a nice pickup for the Barsby Bulldogs as they get this drive started. 3rd down now, 4 to go for a fresh set. Cohen Cadieux has not looked skyward too often in this game. It's been a lot of handoffs, a lot of running the ball, and that's what they elect to do once again, putting the ball in the hands of Rondé Lyle. He's got both of their touchdowns in this game, and he will pick up a first down, but is pushed back before he can go much further than that.
Yeah, the defense of Carson Graham looks like they're just kind of swarming the runner so far. I mean, there's 2 of them. That's not news to anyone between Kai Redner-Bruckman and Rondé Lyle, but it almost seems like they're allowing either of them to get the ball, and then they're swarming in a big group. That's what we saw before on the last run attempt by Kai Redner-Bruckman, and we just saw it again on Lyle.
Redner-Bruckman and Lyle were seemingly picking up first downs on just about every single carry back in that first half, and perhaps I've spoken too soon because Kai Redner-Bruckman will carry that ball a good 12 yards and move the chains again on first down. Barsby with another first down. They're inside the Carson Graham side of the field now from the enemy 40. Cohen Cadieux set to take the snap. Fakes a handoff and puts the ball in the air. Pass complete to Rondé Lyle, but he's tackled immediately by number 40, Griffin Allen. Allen with that big interception to close out the half back in the final moments of that second quarter. But Lyle still able to pick up 4 on that catch. 2nd and 6 as this drive continues to move downfield. Cohen Cadieux hands the ball off. I can't find where that one went, and neither can the cameraman, it seems like. Another little trick running play from the Bulldogs' backfield, which has been so crafty in their handoffs. We'll take another look at it. It's a double reversal. So the ball was originally handed from Cadieux to Rondé Lyle. He put it back into the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman, who then immediately cut up with a dive up the gut.
I believe that's the second time we've seen that exact play. It seems like they like to sort of lure the defense in with their run game early and then throw that one in late in the possession.
As the Bulldogs only needed inches here for a fresh set of downs, and they'll pick up about 5 on the carry, again in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman, who's just been a machine in the second quarter and the early stages of this third as well. And again, the Eagles have not been able to make a stop as far as turnover on downs once in this game.
Now, if you're the Carson Graham coaching staff, what kind of adjustments are you instructing to try to stop this?
I have no idea what you can do because it's not just one guy.
Yeah.
As soon as you figure out that you have the answer for Rondé Lyle, it's Kai Redner-Bruckman who's been just cutting this game wide open.
That's going to be the key to this game, I think. If Carson Graham is able to find an answer, if they're able to answer that specific question, I think they can let their offense take over after that. But until they get that, we're going to see just a back-and-forth game nonstop here.
Penalty flag going against the John Barsby Bulldogs. It's a legal procedure on the offense. Going to walk them back 5 yards, bring up 1st and 15 from the 31. But 15 yards has really been nothing to both Redner-Bruckman and Lyle thus far in this game as they do another double handoff. It's the exact same play once again. Redner-Bruckman running right up the gut, and he'll get the full 15 and then some. Ball comes loose. It's a fumble recovered by the Barsby Bulldogs. Rondé Lyle waiting in the wings to jump on that one and prevent another turnover. That would have been huge for Carson Graham, but Barsby hangs on.
How do you stop these guys? Kai Redner-Bruckman with the original run, and then who else but Rondé Lyle is the one hovering around to be able to pick up the fumble.
Even when he runs directly into defensive players, he's still able to pick up almost an additional 7 yards every single time. Kai Redner-Bruckman's ability to break tackles and just keep those legs pumping is something to behold as the Bulldogs are now 1st and goal from the 10. Hand the ball off again. This time it's a different carrier than we've seen thus far in the game. Number 20, Colton Finstad. And it's Finstad who's going to find the house. The Barsby Bulldogs retake the lead. They've got their 3rd touchdown of the day. 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this 3rd quarter. It's Barsby 18, Carson Graham 14.
And right when you think you've figured out the offensive possession of John Barsby, they find a new target to be able to hand it off and run it into the end zone.
Said this last week, I'll say it again, Tino, in the words of the late, great Rowdy Roddy Piper. Just when Carson Graham thinks they've got the answers, the John Barsby Bulldogs change the questions. And Kai Redner-Bruckman on the point after attempt will find the end zone. That's a 2-point convert on the board, making it a 1-score game. 6 points separating these two teams with less than 8 minutes left to play in quarter number 3.
Now it's time for the Carson Graham Eagles to come back out onto the offense. We'll see Liam Marshall, see how he can answer that defensive stand or lack of defensive stand, see if he can take things over again and run show on the field.
And another opportunity there for the Carson Graham Eagles to have halted that drive with a turnover. So credit to Rondé Lyle. He really was not that involved in the actual driving of the play downfield on that drive necessarily, certainly not to the extent that he was back in the first quarter, but he made the biggest play of it, and that was to keep it alive by jumping on the loose football.
And, you know, if I could just go back to Kai Redner-Bruckman and Rondé Lyle again for, you know, the zillionth time already this game, the attitude that you see through them, or the emotion, the control of their emotion is what I'm trying to say, that they have so far. Like, these guys have very clearly been carrying their offense. They've been the heart and soul. And you see them every single time they get up from a run, there's almost zero emotion on their face. They're just going right back to work. Next possession, boys, let's keep it going. Not
letting themselves get 2 up or 2 down, as the case may be. As it's tight huddle here on the kickoff. Barsby finally separating. We'll see if they go for an onside or a short squib. Neither team really putting that much boot on the ball. This one will be a bouncer that hops all the way down to the 20 before Carson Graham able to gather it in. And that kick return cannot go anywhere That was number 19, Finn Nemeth for the Carson Graham Eagles, but he really got nothing on that return at all. As soon as he was able to gather in that ball, cut over to the left side as we see it on the replays, wrapped up immediately, pickup of maybe 1 yard, but they were able to take that in. It was a bit of a bouncer, and those are hard balls to gather in, especially on, as we said earlier in the broadcast, these cold mornings here in BC Place.
Yeah, by the time it got into his hands, sea of red in front of him, he had nowhere to go.
Liam Marshall looking skyward, pass in the air. It is complete, I believe, to Sebastian Moldenhauer. Moldenhauer with one of 2 touchdowns for Carson Graham in this game. I think they're going to call that a completion. They may have said that he was already down when he took it in. It is complete, but a short completion, 2nd and 9. Or maybe not. Either way, Carson Graham going right back to work this time. It's Kai Nickel who will try to run it up the right side, and he's able to pick up a good chunk of yards on that one, maybe 7 or so. 3rd down, 4 yards to a fresh pair. Fresh set, I should say. As Liam Marshall, pass complete. This time out to the left sideline to Kai Nickel. He's going to move those sticks. Real healthy pickup of about 12 yards, almost all of them coming after the catch. Finn Nemeth. His brother Aiden, a force to be reckoned with as well. Going to be putting on a show for the senior Varsity Eagles later on this evening in their AA championship game. This is just the first of 4 championship games on this Saturday here at BC Place Stadium, and it's a long bomb complete down the field for the Carson Graham Eagles. What a pass into the waiting hands of who else but Finn Nemeth. He's been the big play driver in this game for Carson Graham thus far, and coming up with a huge catch there.
This is the thing that's so hard about the Carson Graham offense is we've seen so much versatility now. They've been able to run the ball for short bursts throughout the game, but Liam Marshall has really been showing off his arm.
And Marshall now showing off his legs as he elects to run it right up the middle. Made that decision immediately, took that snap, saw the hole, and went for it. And that's a nice healthy pickup of 8 yards on that carry, 2nd and 2. Does Marshall hang on to it himself again and see if he can pick up the first down? No, he's going to look skyward. Short pass complete to Finn Nemeth once again. Nemeth, after the catch, going to pick up the yards he needs to move those sticks before he's pushed backwards eventually. Cannot be brought off of his feet, but that should move the chains, and indeed it does. Take another look. As you said, that versatility, whether they're running the ball, they've had a lot of success with the short passes. Liam Marshall just finding guys at about the line of scrimmage and letting them pick up the extra yards after the fact. This time it's a pitch into the hands of Kai Nickel, and Nickel again cannot be brought down. He's inside the 10-yard line, finally brought off his feet at the 6.
Took 7 guys to take him down. That kid's a brick wall.
We are seeing some real fine runners on both sides of the ball here, whether it's Carson Graham or John Barsby. The run game very strong for both of these teams as it's 2nd down, 2nd and 2. If they can get inside the 3, they'll get a fresh set of downs, and they will do that. In fact, they'll find the house. Ball back in the hands of who else? Kai Nickel. He could not be stopped on that last play and couldn't be stopped this time. Went all the way to the end zone to restore that lead for Carson Graham, or rather tie the game at 20 apiece.
Both teams' offense just going to work this game. I think ultimately we're going to see, a bit of a barn burner, for lack of a better term. We're going to see a high-scoring game. The team that's going to be able to get consistent defensive stops, that's going to be the ultimate team that's coming out with the championship at the end of this. Never
mind consistent stops, Tino. At this stage of the game, as they went for the 1-point kick, faked it, we're going to pass for the end zone, but brought down unsuccessfully. That was Eric Town for Carson Graham, unable to get that ball away. With this stage of the game, Tino, You got 5 minutes left here in the third quarter, another 12 after that. That's 17 minutes to go. The way these teams have been going with these running drives largely, that keeps the clock moving throughout, eats up a lot of time. Think about how many drives are left in this game for either side. You really just need to come up with one, maybe two stops defensively, and that could basically secure you the ball game.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's, we're, like you said, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Still is a significant amount of time left. However, now is the time when coaching decisions and game management are going to be so crucial. Like you said, just one or two defensive stops could change the game. How are you going to direct your players? How are the players going to dictate the play and decide when that happens?
Think about it, what we've seen so far, teams basically averaging 2 drives per quarter. So one stop might do it if really it's just 3 drives apiece left between these two teams. As the Eagles will kick this one away. Short kick, but a bouncer. Gathered in at the 16 as it's brought back the other way by Johnny Durkin for the Bulldogs. He'll run into a wall of bodies, finally wrapped up and brought down. There's a flag on the play, though. Not sure if he got horse collared there on the tackle. Did have a player down on the field. It was a Carson Graham defensive player who is going to limp over to the sidelines, I believe, or perhaps just try to walk this one off. No, he is going to head to the sidelines in the end after all. That's number 12, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Barber for the Eagles. Looking a little shaken up on that play. Stepping gingerly.
Yeah, not looking to put too much weight on that. Hopefully he's all right. Honestly, I didn't even really see what happened. I just saw him get up.
Yeah, that's the same for me here as well. As play set to resume, 1st and 10. The Barsby Bulldogs starting this drive from their own 15-yard line. Something's going on. Carson Graham Eagles elect to call timeout. Maybe did not like their formation. We've got a substitution on this timeout as well. Rushing onto the field, number 51 for the Eagles. That's Huxley Burt. It's a name you don't see too often anymore.
I was going to say, strong name.
Huxley.
Strong name, strong player. Huh? Hot take?
Something better be warm up here in the booth. It may as well be the takes. Warm us up here. It is a chilly one. If you're coming down to one of the later games this evening, planning to attend for yourself here at BC Place Stadium, do recommend you layer up.
Yeah, both of us were saying 3 layers, and it's still not enough.
No, it is very cold in this building. Can only imagine how the players feel down on the field, but play resumes, and it's the Barsby Bulldogs going right back to work. Kai Redner-Bruckman with a carry, and on 1st down is going to pick up about 16 yards. Just a force to be reckoned with on the field in this game, Kai Redner-Bruckman.
I was worried he was going to get up limping as well. It looks like his leg got clipped a little bit there. Most likely, unintentionally for sure, but I'm glad to see he got up okay.
It's so funny the way these guys go down, because sometimes you see them get wrapped up by 4 different defenders and still cannot be taken off their feet. Bruckman just got touched on the hip, basically, as he was darting up the field and spun to the turf. This time, however, it's Rondé Lyle with the carry. He's going to pick up 7, and that'll bring up 2nd and 3 from the 37.
Got to wonder now if Carson Graham also has their attention on Cole Finstad. I believe he's the one who got the last touchdown for John Barsby. It just might be another target for them to keep an eye on.
He did indeed. He's had a few carries in this game, but not a favorite target of Cohen Cadieux. As they put the ball right back into the hands of who else? Kai Redner-Bruckman. Only needed 3 yards. I think he got closer to 7. And they're going to spot this one at the 44, 1st and 10.
You know, him and Rondé Lyle, they're both smaller guys. They got that low center of gravity. It doesn't surprise me at all that these guys are both hard to take down to the ground.
As it's Rondé Lyle now on the carry, coming out to the left side, and he's off to the races, finally pushed out of bounds, and I do mean pushed. They were not going to tackle him, but they could get some fingers just to make those toes hit the sideline. What a carry for Rondé Lyle. From his own 44, I believe he was finally forced out, they're going to say, at the 32.
So elusive. You saw coming through the gap there, he just threw one fake step and then goes the other way to his left, and he sold half of the defense. So elusive.
24-yard carry for Rondé Lyle. Now it's Kai Redner-Bruckman going right back to work on the right side of the field. A diving effort trying to get that ball ahead of the chains, but going to be just shy of first down after that first down carry. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Got to imagine there's some mental play coming into this as well. If you are that Carson Graham defense, you're seeing the same two guys constantly running down the entire field at will. There has to be some mental play coming on as well, like maybe a little bit of self-doubt in your head creeping in there a little bit. I think they just need to get 1 or 2 stops on both of these guys for a consistent possession, and I think that might turn the tides a little bit.
Well, we're seeing Kai Redner-Bruckman right now heading to the sidelines as he tried to stretch out that knee after that last play. And I would imagine his day is not done. He is a very valuable piece to this team. This is the game that you've been playing for all season long. I would be shocked if we do not see him return to this game the way he's been playing. But right now his team is in a 2nd and 2 situation from the enemy 25. They're going to put the ball in the hands of a running back that we haven't seen thus far in this game, number 22, Liam Wilson. But it's Wilson who will pick up 4, I believe, on that carry. And that will move the sticks for a fresh set of downs. First down, Bulldogs once again.
Important 4 yards. Got them a first down. Not bad for your first carry.
Closer to 3, I believe, is what he ultimately came up with. But they put the ball right back into his hands again. And he'll pick up about 4 yards all over again. Not quite what we're used to seeing, of course, from Kai Redner-Bruckman, but not bad at all either.
Yeah, with Redner-Bruckman going out with the injury for the time being at least, it's going to have to be, success by committee for the time being, with only like one major target being Rondé Lyle that the defense have had to focus on so far with Bruckman being off the field.
Cohen Cadieux takes the snap. We'll put the ball into the hands of Rondé Lyle. Lyle cutting over to the left side of the field, tried to cut up as he got into the middle of the field. And he's wrapped up and hauled down. He picks up about 4 yards on that carry as well. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Cole Finstad coming back onto the field now in the late parts of the drive. Got to wonder if he's going to be an intended target as they approach the end zone.
He's the one who found the end zone for that 3rd touchdown that gave Barsby the lead. We're currently tied 20-all with 90 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs looking to run it again, and I believe they're stopped up just shy of the first down, and they put the ball in the hands of who else? You called it, Tino, Colton Finstad.
Yeah, I almost wonder if he's going to be sort of a closer for them he's going right back off the field now, so just one quick drive for him, but clearly he's a threat as soon as he comes onto the field. You saw it right there.
Well, you're mentioning the size of both Rondé Lyle and Kai Redner-Bruckman as being smaller, kind of more shifty guys. Colton Finstad looks like their power option when they get into short yardage situations, but it's 4th down here, 1 yard to a fresh set. Can they get it, or did Carson Graham make a big stop? No, it looks as though they are going to get that first down. And that'll bring up 1st and goal in the hands of who else? Rondé Lyle.
Redner-Bruckman coming back onto the field now, so it looks like he's shaking that one off. He's going to be an important part of this last little bit of the drive here as they're looking for another TD.
There have not really been that many 4th down scenarios for the John Barsby Bulldogs. One, of course, back in the 1st quarter where they went for a deep pass that found the end zone. Cohen Cadieux connecting with Rondé Lyle. We'll see what they do here. Ball put back in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. He's wrapped up and hauled down as he hits the line. Maybe a pickup of 1 or 2 there, but I'm not sure if he even got that.
Gets up a little bit gingerly there. I'm wondering if the knee is bothering him a little bit, but glad to see that he is back out on the field and he gets the ball right away. So, if you haven't figured out how important he is to this team in general, you saw it right there. It comes back from an injury, immediately gets the ball back.
Pickup of 1 for Kai Redner-Bruckman on that carry, and that'll bring up the end of the third quarter. Almost the exact same spot we found ourselves, Tino, back at the end of the first quarter. As the ball was down at that end of the field with John Barsby knocking on the door, teams will switch sides, and we'll see if the Carson Graham Eagles can come up with a stop this time around.
What a game for the first game of the day, too. I wouldn't have it any other way going into the fourth quarter, tied 20-20, heading into the championship game here. This is an incredible way to start the day.
And, Tino, you were worried that this game was going to be a blowout. When it looked like Barsby was up 12-0 and Carson Graham had no answers. I told you at the time these things tend to find a way to be pretty close. As we head into the fourth, right to the end, and look at that. Prophetic, if I may say so myself. All tied up 20-20 as we head into the fourth quarter. But, of course, the Barsby Bulldogs with a great opportunity here to give themselves a lead in the fourth. They've got 6 yards to go and 3 downs with which to work.
I had one freezing cold take, and you just have to bring it up.
I don't blame you for thinking that. It certainly looked that way early, but credit to the perseverance of Carson Graham for staying with their game plan and getting right back in this thing.
No doubt about it.
The first of 2 championship games for Carson Graham, as mentioned. They still have another one coming up in the senior varsity AA final later in the day. As the Bulldogs put the ball in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman. And he looks like that knee is not bothering him at all as he saunters right into that end zone and puts 6 big points on the board for Barsby, 26-20 here inside the fourth quarter.
Saunters is the perfect word to describe it, and you even see him afterwards. I was talking before about the control of his emotion. He comes out, I know he's got a mouth guard in, but doesn't even look like there's a smile on his face. He's just ready to go right back to work, back to business, and go out there for the extra point attempt.
They're going to celebrate when the job is done, and that's in about 12 minutes from now, depending on which side of the score they come out on. As they're going to look for a 2-point convert here. Barsby trying to find the end zone, and unsuccessful. They put the ball back in the hands of the guy who got the touchdown, Kai Redner-Bruckman. That's his first TD of the game. Surprising considering the impact he's had on this contest, certainly here in the second half. But denied on the convert. It's a 6-point score separating these two teams, 26-20, with just under 12 minutes left to play.
We've mentioned it before as well. After a big offensive drive, rather. Now we're going to see Liam Marshall come back out, see how he can dictate play for his offense for the rest of the way here, and see if they can connect to at least tie this game and try to get themselves back in the lead in the final frame here.
The way this game has gone, though, talked about how many possessions you can really expect to have left in a game like this. Barsby likely to have the final drive of the game given the way it's flown thus far, though we'll see if that is the case or not.
I would say this is as important of an offensive possession for the Eagles as they've had the entire game. If John Barsby gets a stop here, not to say that Carson Graham would have to go into panic mode, but all of a sudden now there's a lot more urgency into their game with, as of right now, just under 12 minutes to go in the quarter.
Well, we're talking back in the third quarter. Really, you just need to make one stop here the way this game's gone, and that will likely do it for the contest. As Barsby kicks this one away, it bounces to the 16, gathered in there by Carson Graham, and it'll be run back the other way by Eric Town. Town finally brought to the turf after a pickup of about 20 on that return. Will start his team off at their own 33 or so to begin this drive.
Good healthy run going through a few bodies. Not a bad start to the possession.
We'll see what kind of impact Kai Nickel has on this drive. Running back for the Eagles. What a very strong third quarter. But it's Liam Marshall who takes the snap. He's going to make a short pass complete to Eric Town along the left sideline, and Town pushed out of bounds after maybe a short gain, maybe just got back to the sideline. When the yardsticks are on the far side from us, it's tough to tell always, Tino, exactly how many yards they picked up, but it looks like, yeah, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage no further, 2nd and 10. Marshall handles that snap, ball away, and it is complete. What a pass. No, we got a flag on the play. Going to take that one off the board. Finn Nemeth with another big grab that would have moved the sticks and given Carson Graham a good 16 yards on that pickup, but unfortunately it looks like they're set to replay the down.
We're seeing that quick decision-making by Marshall again. I love his ability to come out of a snap and just go for whatever the play call is immediately. There's no hesitation, which is something that I think with some of these kids being, on the younger side, that's something that can play a factor, a little bit of hesitation in their decision-making.
It's a false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty against Carson Graham, going to bring up a 2nd and 15 situation. Liam Marshall going to look to throw, I would have to think, and he does indeed get that pass away. Complete to Liam Nielsen along the far sideline. Nielsen run out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 yards or so, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see where they spot it. 3rd and 5, so a 10-yard pickup on that catch. Nice reception for Liam Nielsen, his first target of the day. Shovel pass in the backfield into the hands of Kai Nickel. Nickel wrapped up and brought down just shy of the first down stick. So now they're going to say he did cross the chains. It's a first down, Carson Graham, 1st and 10 from their own 44.
You're hearing the crowd come alive a little bit here. The John Barsby faithful not too happy about that last call, but
Liam Marshall once again looking skyward, pass over into the hands of Eric Town. Town had to bobble that one, but he did come up with it. Brought down for a loss, however. That'll be 2nd and 12. You're almost better off letting that one drop if you're Eric Town, though, of course, I bet he thought he could hang on to that one and maybe add some yards after the fact. Marshall takes the snap, will hand the ball off, fakes a pass, but the Bulldogs' defense not biting. As it's Kai Nickel once again wrapped up after a short pickup of 3. That'll be 3rd and 9. Liam Marshall probably looking downfield in a 3rd and long scenario. Huge play. Marshall's going for a hard count, trying to catch the defense off guard, but they don't bite, much to the delight of the John Barsby faithful on hand here, who are certainly making some noise and coming to life in this 4th quarter.
Got to wonder if that's going to play, a bit of a factor for the Carson Graham offense. This almost sounds like a home crowd for John Barsby, how loud some of their fans have been. So.
Which is impressive considering they're based out of Nanaimo and taking on a team from North Vancouver. You would think the geographics would favor the team that didn't have far to travel this morning, but a lot of parents and some friends and family, I'm sure, on hand today for both sides. Been a lively crowd here this morning from BC Place Stadium. Justin Morissette with Tino Farah bringing you the action from BC Place. Less than 10 minutes to go in this game, and it's a huge 3rd down for Carson Graham after they just took a timeout. Liam Marshall takes a snap. His receiver's downfield, puts the ball in the air. It's complete. And a short pass to Kai Nickel, who will then chew up 12 yards on the carry after the fact.
Great possession there after a timeout. Great job by Kai Nickel to be able to turn, like you said, a short pass into a lot of yardage. they were coming up on a 4th down attempt there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 1st and 10 all over again.
Absolutely. A huge play in a very pressure-packed situation as Liam Marshall's offense goes right back to work for Carson Graham. Marshall takes the snap. Receivers downfield again, looks to the left sideline, and it is complete. Into the middle of the field, however. Complete to Finn Nemeth. And that'll move the sticks again.
Ice in the veins of these Carson Graham offensive players. We've seen now a couple situations throughout this entire game where they're facing a 4th down situation or they're just facing a pressure-filled situation in general, and they're able to usually make a passing play to come out of it unscathed.
Thought Eric Town might be the target on that pass along the near sideline, but threw it into the middle for Finn Nemeth, and Nemeth has been quite the difference maker for this Carson offense thus far. Less than 9 minutes left to play in the game. Carson down by 6. 1st and 10 from the 31. Short pass complete to Finn Nemeth again. Nemeth with yards after the catch, brought down at about the 19 or so. I think they're going to spot at the 20 and say that he picked up 5.
Just taking a look at the replay here. Almost got picked off. That was A.J. Barter, who just barely missed getting his fingertips on that. Game of inches, without a doubt.
4 yards to go as they try to run this one in the hands of Kai Nickel, but Nickel hauled down after a short pickup, not quite able to get that 1st down, but they're not far from it now either. 3rd and 3. As these Barsby fans, you can hear them making noise for this defense, and it's a pass complete along the far side into the waiting hands of Sebastian Moldenhauer. Moldenhauer not able to get that many yards after that catch, but he didn't need many either. That will move the chains for a Carson Graham 1st down.
You know, I think we said in the first quarter as well, like slow and steady has sort of been the game plan for Carson Graham, and we're seeing it on this offensive drive again.
As Liam Marshall looking deep, and he finds his pass complete to Liam Nielsen. Nielsen was all alone in the middle of the field. That is a target that Marshall is going to look for 10 times out of 10 in that coverage. He was behind the defenders, gathered that one in with ease, and Liam Nielsen makes it a tie game all over again.
Unbelievable. Just over 7:30 to go here, 4th quarter, tied 26-26. Carson Graham's going to see if they can get a little bit of an advantage here, but wow, what a championship game coming down to the wire.
Carson Graham has been spreading out the ball as well, getting contributions from everybody. As the 2-point convert is good. Pass complete to Kai Nickel. And Carson Graham takes a narrow lead with just over 7.5 minutes left to play. It's the Eagles 28, the Bulldogs 26.
And the Carson Graham faithful now getting out of their seats. They're loving this offensive play. Making some noise for their boys in white.
The intensity of the atmosphere in this building palpable. Fans for both sides have had plenty to cheer about in this game. I talked about the spread on the offense for Carson Graham. It's 4 different players finding the house for them in this game. Finn Nemeth, Sebastian Moldenhauer, Kai Nickel, and now the 4th one, as we saw just moments ago, belonging to Liam Nielsen. Kai Redner-Bruckman on the kick return for the Bulldogs, able to gather that one in at the 27. 10-yard pickup on the return, hauled down at the 37, and that is where the John Barsby Bulldogs will begin this drive. Bruckman with the most recent touchdown in the game for the Bulldogs, who need to find a score here on this drive. But what a start to things for Carson Graham, who wrap up Rondé Lyle and bring him down for a loss of 4 in the backfield, 2nd and 14.
Talk about a way to start off a defensive stand right after a score. Unbelievable. Rondé Lyle a little bit slow to get up after that one too. Hopefully he's okay, but that's as good of a start as you could ask for if you're Carson Graham.
Kieran Mann on the defensive line for the Eagles, able to get in, one of 2 players to wrap up Rondé Lyle for a loss of yards. Haven't seen that very often from Rondé Lyle as they go right back to that same trick running play. This time, Kai Redner-Bruckman not able to chew up nearly as many yards as he's gotten from that play thus far in the game. Carson Graham might finally be catching on to that double reverse run up the gut.
It fooled me again. I was looking the wrong way.
It's hard to keep track of, man. I don't fault you at all. It's tricked me up here in the booth. As you can tell from the replays we've seen a few times, it's tricked the cameraman as well. You don't see that kind of reversals very often. Those kind of trick plays in the junior varsity game, but Rob Stevenson, head coach of these Bulldogs, pulling out all the stops. And speaking of stops, another big one right there for the Carson Graham defense, which will bring up a 4th down scenario, something we have not seen the Bulldogs have to overcome all too often in this game. This might just be their 3rd, 4th down of the contest. We got a timeout at the moment, it looks like. Or maybe not.
I was going to say it would have been a smart time there to take a timeout, in my opinion, but clearly
looked like the official was signaling for one initially, but did not in the end. It's a huge moment for the Barsby Bulldogs. Can they come up with a first down? They do indeed. In the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman, who's been so pivotal for them all game long. He only needed 4 yards. He comes up with about 14 as they are going to continue this drive, this time from inside enemy territory. They're at the Carson Graham 44 with a fresh set of downs.
Looks to be okay after he got up, but I was just watching the way that he did get up, and I'm wondering if the knee is still bothering him a little bit. Obviously, it's not enough to keep him out of play. You know, he's going to play through anything, it looks like at this point, but
and still be a difference maker at
for
that.
Sure.
Real impressive stuff. As it's honestly tough to pin down who's been the better player for the Bulldogs in this game between Rondé Lyle and Kai Redner-Bruckman. Lyle was a huge force back in the first quarter, but here in the second half, it's been Redner-Bruckman who's just been outstanding. As I believe that's a dead ball. The officials do agree, but a nice job to pressure the quarterback. Cohen Kajuch was looking to pass on that play and did not have the kind of time that he thought he might.
Despite giving up that the first down on the last play, I've been impressed by this defensive stand by Carson Graham a lot more than I have been thus far throughout the game. They've been swarming a lot more, and I'm glad to see it come out finally.
2nd and 10 after they're going to say, could you got that ball away incomplete. He felt that pressure coming. As the defensive line has done a great job, as you mentioned, Tino, for Carson Graham on this drive. This time, they fooled me with that handoff play again, I think. It wound up in the hands of who else? Kai Redner-Bruckman. He's been the recipient of that play every time as we take another look at it. It's a double reverse. It's just, and it works almost every single time. Cohen Kajuch is just handing the ball off to Rondé Lyle, who looks like he's going to sweep out to the left side, but instead hands it right back to Kai Redner-Bruckman with a dive up the gut.
I'm sure the Bulldogs fans that are watching this at home on the live stream have just been listening to this and shaking their head. They've been watching this all year long, and they're just, wow.
Rondé Lyle with a huge carry now. He's off to the races. Can anyone stop him? No, they cannot. Rondé Lyle, his 3rd touchdown of the game, and that will restore the John Barsby lead with less than 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 4.
Wow. The wheels on this kid turns turns nothing into something. Nobody was catching him.
Take another look at it here. He's been in that position a few times where the only option has been to make a diving push into the sidelines as opposed to tackling him, because his ability to separate himself from defenders is something to behold. And maybe he heard me about 4 minutes ago saying that it's hard to say who's been better between the two running backs, because he's trying to cement himself as the player of this game. That's his third touchdown of the day, and he adds a 2-point convert as well.
Yeah, and you can see the emotions coming out a little bit now. He's fired up after that last play. He knows that that was a huge offensive possession for the Bulldogs. We're going to have to see how the Eagles can answer now, but thought we were going to see the defensive stand that we've been waiting to see from either team. Obviously didn't get it there, but now the momentum is all in favor of the Bulldogs, and we'll see how they can work with their defense now.
At the same time, if you're the Carson Graham Eagles, as unstoppable as the Bulldogs offense has been, outside of some tough starts back in the first quarter, Carson Graham's really basically found the end zone on just about every drive themselves as well. So a lot of reason to keep the faith and have some belief in yourself. I think this is a position you would like to be in with the ball. With this much time on the clock, this could be the final drive of this game. And if you play it right, if you're Carson Graham, you might not really leave that much time for the Bulldogs to respond if you can score and take a lead here.
Yeah, and like we mentioned before, the versatility of this Eagles offense, how they've been able to use their run game, they've been able to use their pass game, and even Liam Marshall being able to run it himself if he doesn't see anything available with his decision-making.
Nice boot on this one. Touched but not gathered in. Carson Graham scrambling now. It's Finn Nemeth who will pick up the ball, and he's off to the races. What a return for Finn Nemeth. Started at his own 20, hauled down at the 46. That looked like it was going to be dangerous, a loose ball that the Bulldogs were going to be quick to jump all over, but instead Finn Nemeth, just like Kai Redner-Bruckman, or rather Rondé Lau before him, just made something out of nothing.
I was just going to say Finn Nemeth doing his best Rondé Lyle impression there, going for goal. What an effort. Like you said, something out of nothing.
As a huge drive in this game gets underway, Liam Marshall hands the ball off to Kai Nickel, and Nickel with a pickup of 7 before he's finally brought down. And already Carson Graham inside enemy territory thanks to the outstanding field position that Finn Nemeth gave them on that kick return.
It's interesting, we see the same for the most part. Each quarterback from both teams has their two main guys that they like to get the ball to. I'm wondering if we're going to see sort of an unsung hero be the person to take over in the final 3 minutes of this fourth quarter. I wonder if we're going to see someone who hasn't necessarily been a target for the bulk of this game come and play hero.
Handing the ball off to Kai Nickel for a second consecutive down. He comes up just shy of first down yardage, but it's 3rd and 1. As Liam Marshall will hand the ball off once again, and this time Nickel cuts out to the left side. Able to come up with about 4.5, if not 5 yards on that carry, and that will move the sticks. And some smart play calling, I think, from Carson Graham here. Make this defense fear the run before you go back to the pass. And do they look skyward now? They do indeed. Long bomb down the field. Pass, and it's picked off. The Bulldogs able to come away with an interception. Johnny Durkin now sprinting back the other way. Durkin cutting out to the left side. Finally wrapped up and hauled down by the quarterback himself, Liam Marshall. But that turnover could spell the end of this game with 2:24 to go. What a play for the John Barsby Bulldogs.
Talk about the defensive stand, and what a time for it to come off. The bench comes alive, or the sideline rather. Johnny Durkin, his biggest play of the game, probably his biggest game of his entire season, coming up with under 3 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Talk about a time for an interception. That might have been the defensive stand that we've been waiting for all game.
That is the stop we were talking about. It might only take one, and Barsby getting it with under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. It is the championship game for the AA Junior Varsity Division here in BC High School football. And if you are the Carson Graham Eagles, you have to keep your chin up, keep your spirits high. You've come up with a couple of big strips and interceptions already in this game. I know that's a tough turnover to give up at this stage, but you might be able to force one of your own and swing things back the other direction before this game comes to a close as the clock continues to run inside the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, like you said, we've seen some defensive stands for them so far for Carson Graham. And I think that if they're looking for any sort of confidence builder, it's exactly that. Maybe they haven't been able to string a ton of them together in quick succession, but they've had the ability to do it so far. So lean on that and let that build your confidence coming into this final.
I'm shocked at how long that clock just ran for. But they put the ball back in the hands of Rondé Lau. Lau with a run out to the left side. Sweep brought down after a pickup of about 4 on the play. That'll bring up third down.
Brings up third and a long 3. Timeout, Carson Graham.
And a good use of the timeout for the Eagles to halt the clock, as of course, if you're the John Barsby Bulldogs, the run game has been solid for you all game long, so you want to stick with your strength. But, of course, when you run the ball and don't get pushed out along the sidelines, you eat up more clock time as well.
For sure. And I think we're probably going to see the Carson Graham Eagles do what we were mentioning before, sort of dare the Bulldogs to pass the ball, maybe try to swarm around on the sides, see if they can shut down Rondé Lyle and Kai Redner-Breckman again. But it's certainly going to be a tough task. They're going to need someone to emerge as a hero on the defense.
Rondé Lau with the carry is going to get a first down, and there were a number of Eagles defenders trying to strip the ball clean out of his hands, unable to do so as they move the sticks and get that fresh set of downs. The Barsby contingent here on hand in BC Place Stadium reacting like that's the game, and they really might not be wrong with just 70 seconds to go on the clock.
Clock running down, too.
Clock, as you say, yes, continuing to run.
Those early morning BC ferry rides, they really hype up. They really get you ready for a football game.
As the Barsby Bulldogs go into victory formation, Cohen Kaju takes a knee, content to just run down the clock as they are seconds away from a regional championship here. I still want to say provincial. They are the Lower Mainland champions, or will be, in about 15 seconds' time. And what a play for Johnny Durkin. That interception proving to be so pivotal, really sealing up this game as it looked like the Eagles might be able to take the lead late. Instead, the John Barsby Bulldogs offense able to run down the clock, and what a well-earned championship this is for Rondé Lyle, Kai Redner-Breckman, and quarterback Cohen Kaju. Just a masterful performance offensively. They could not be stopped by a very formidable Carson Graham defense throughout this game. And it's John Barsby who comes out on top. They are your AA junior varsity champions here on Championship Saturday at the 2021 BC School Sports Subway Bowl. Tino, some final thoughts before we take a break ahead of our next game.
You know, we mentioned, like, obviously the targets, Kai Redner-Breckman, Rondé Lyle, the incredible play calls of Cohen Kadu, but yeah, like you mentioned before, that interception by Johnny Durkin, we were asking for a defensive stop the entire game. He comes up with about 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. What a time for a play, and what a way to seal a championship. Johnny Durkin, have yourself a day.
And not the start to the day that Carson Graham would have wanted, of course. This is their first of 2 championship games. They're taking on Robert Bateman in the AA varsity game coming up closer to 4 or 4:30 today, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe some adversity a little good for them. Make them that much hungrier in that second game. And we are going to see some players play both contests. I know that Finn Nemeth, a receiver for the senior team as well. More of a depth player, not the star piece that he was in this game. His brother Aiden really fills that role for the senior Eagles. But a tough start to the game, or to the day rather, for the Eagles. We'll see if they can bounce back later on in their second game coming up later this afternoon. But don't go anywhere, folks. We've got more junior varsity action coming your way before you know it. The second game of the day, second of 4 championship games, 5 games total. We've got an all-star game, splitting them up in the afternoon here today as well. Plenty of football action coming your way. This has just been the appetizer. We have plenty of courses in this 5-course meal yet to be served. I'm Justin Morissette. He is Tino Farrow. We'll be back with the junior varsity AAA championship game before you know it, so please stay with us. Lots of football still to come. It is the BC High School Sports Subway Bowl, live from BC Place Stadium. This has been the Junior Varsity AA Final. And again, your final score, the John Barsby Bulldogs 34, the Carson Graham Eagles 28.
I can't tell you what I write. The words without the paper. Take my ego.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for the individual. It's time now for the individual presentation of trophies. But first of all, how about a great round of applause for both teams? What an outstanding championship match today. Our individual player awards. Here to present the trophies, BCSS FA past presidents George Oswald and Bill Cole. First, the outstanding lineman from John Barsby, number 65, Carson Corbett Smith. Congratulations, Carson. Next, the outstanding back in today's championship game from Carson Graham, number 6, Liam Marshall. Congratulations, Liam. And now the most valuable player from John Barsby, number 11, Rondé Lyle. Congratulations, Rondé. And now we ask the captains of the John Barsby Bulldogs, our 2021 AA JV champions, to come up and receive the 2021 Regional Championship banner. And once again, congratulations to all players and coaches. Stay around for the next game featuring the Junior Varsity AAA Championship matchup between Vancouver College and St. Thomas More.
Oh, I'm swimming in your ocean. Give you all of my devotion like nobody, like nobody. You got me dripping in emotion, imagination overflowing with your body, with your body. You know that I ride and I die for you. You know I got nothing to hide from you. You know I got space in my life for two, yeah, yeah. I don't know to love, but it comes with fear. 'Cause if I get hurt, I don't think I heal. I need you to leave me loud and clear, yeah, yeah. So can you kiss me like you're dying of thirst in my water? So can you kiss me like my lips help you breathe underwater? 'Cause that sound bad, I want you, bad, I want you. 'Cause that sound bad, I want you. 'Cause that sound bad, I want you. 'Cause that sound bad, I want you. I don't need to be the lightning or the thunder, but I need to know you're really going under. So can you kiss me like you're diving in deep in that water? 'Cause that sound
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Game 2 of the 2021 Subway Bowl. Our games today kicked off with the Junior Varsity AA Championships between Vancouver